Albert Einstein says, "I am a deeply religious non-believer. But if there were any religion that could cope with modern scientific needs, it would be Buddhism." This statement reflects Einstein's view of Buddhism as a universal religion that holds promise for the future. Buddhism transcends the concept of a personal God, avoids dogma and theology, and embraces both the natural and spiritual worlds. At its core, it is based on a religious sense that arises from the experience of all things, both natural and spiritual, as a meaningful unity. Einstein perceived Buddhism not merely as a spiritual doctrine, but as a comprehensive philosophy of life. He believed it offered a coherent approach to understanding the universe and humanity, emphasizing a harmonious relationship between science and spirituality. In a world increasingly dominated by science and technology, Buddhism presents a flexible mindset that invites profound exploration of the universe's nature and our role within it. Albert Einstein is a monumental figure in the history of science, credited with a revolutionary shift in human understanding through his general theory of relativity. This groundbreaking work introduced a new perspective, revealing that time and space are not isolated entities, but are interwoven dimensions that change depending on the observer's position and velocity. The equation U=2mc2 is more than just a formula. It serves as a powerful declaration of the unity between matter and energy, unlocking new realms of physics. However, Einstein was not solely a scientist. He was also a profound philosopher and thinker who transcended the boundaries of scientific theory in his quest for harmony among science, philosophy, and religion. His approach to religion was not rooted in blind faith, but was characterized by a deep appreciation for the order and wonder of the universe, reflecting a soul in relentless pursuit of beauty and truth. The Buddha imparted invaluable lessons to humanity, paving the way for a complete exploration of the infinite potential of the mind. This journey leads to a profound understanding of the surrounding world and, ultimately, liberation from the endless cycle of rebirth. The distinction between the two figures lies in their focus. While Einstein sought answers to the mysteries of the external universe, the Buddha turned his gaze inward. Utilizing observation, wisdom, and genuine reasoning, he approached enlightenment with a scientific spirit. Both the Buddha and Einstein operated with a similar ethos. However, the Buddha firmly emphasized that knowledge should not be accepted blindly. Instead, he encouraged verification through personal experience and reasoning, advocating for an open approach that accepts only what has been proven to be true. Through this method, the Buddha achieved the profound understanding he sought. Einstein placed significant importance on ethics and integrity in human behavior. However, he argued that the source of morality should not stem from fear or the expectation of punishment from God or any other authority. He stated, "Human ethical behavior should be based on compassion, education, and social ties and needs. It does not need to have a religious foundation." He lamented the notion that humans could only be good out of fear of punishment or hope for rewards. According to Einstein, if people are good solely because they fear consequences or anticipate rewards, then humanity is indeed in a sorry state. While Einstein rejected the idea of a personal God, he struggled to articulate the beauty and methodical nature of the universe. He conveyed this sentiment with clarity. "I do not believe in a personal God, and I have never denied this, but have expressed it clearly. If in me there is anything that can be called religious, then it is the unbounded admiration for the structure of the world, as far as our science can reveal it." The God of Spinoza, whom Einstein referenced, is a concept that equates God with nature itself. The Dutch philosopher Spinoza argued that everything in existence, matter, energy, atoms, molecules, life, thought, humans, societies, galaxies, and potentially even multiple universes, exists within nature. According to this view, there is nothing outside of nature, including spiritual phenomena and other mysteries we have yet to comprehend. If such phenomena exist, they are but chapters of nature. In Buddhism, there are 5 natural laws, known as the 5 niyamas, that govern the universe and dictate the occurrence of events. Karma or action is merely one of these elements. Current conditions result from countless changing factors. There is no single cause for the state of existence. Einstein articulated his position clearly, stating, I have repeatedly said that, in my opinion, the idea of a personal God is a childlike one. However, I do not share the fervor of the professional atheist for battling theism. Such enthusiasm often stems from the painful process of liberating oneself from religious indoctrination during youth. The Buddha opposed the traditional Hindu notion of an eternal creator God, eternalism, and also rejected the materialism of those who deny God, nihilism. He became the first philosopher to deny the idea that the soul is an immutable entity. Einstein seemed to resonate with both these positions, expressing humility and acknowledging the limitations of his knowledge in unraveling the mysteries of the world. Let us reflect on Einstein's words. A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. No one can achieve this completely, but the striving for such achievement is in itself a part of liberation and a foundation for inner security. This sentiment aligns closely with Buddhist teachings, particularly the middle way, which steers clear of the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. It emphasizes interconnectedness and the significance of compassion and understanding beyond the self, striving for spiritual liberation that brings inner peace and a deeper connection with the universe. Einstein famously asserted, "Physical concepts are free creations of the human mind and are not uniquely determined by the external world." This profound statement highlights how we understand and construct knowledge about our surroundings. He posited that our physical concepts, our descriptions and explanations of natural phenomena, are not solely dictated by the external world, but are products of the human mind. While the natural world exists independently and follows its own laws, the way we comprehend and interpret it through physical concepts and theories is a human endeavor based on observation, reasoning, and creativity. Einstein emphasized the flexibility and creativity inherent in science, underscoring that there is a single path or definitive answer to any question. This perspective opens doors for innovation and advancement in science, as scientists continuously adapt their theories to reflect the natural world more accurately. Remarkably, the Buddha articulated a similar perspective over 2,500 years ago. All notions such as cause and effect, sequence, atoms, and basic elements are all figments of imagination and manifestations of the mind. According to the Buddha, the concept of self is not rational. Instead, he posited that the self is merely an emotion. Thus, consciousness itself is an illusion, and the sense of self is merely a mental activity. Humanity often lives unconsciously, akin to a dreamlike state, believing in their own existence. This misperception leads to dependence on concepts and forms, which lack any foundation beyond the activities of the mind. The Buddha referred to this misapprehension as ignorance, anatta, non-self, which Einstein described as the illusion of consciousness. The Buddha offered a solution to escape this prison through the development and purification of the mind, following a clear path outlined in the Noble Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. His path includes extending unbiased compassion toward all beings. According to the Buddha, attachment, desire leads to suffering and hinders liberation from this prison. Einstein echoed this sentiment, noting that this prison confines our love to only our nearest and dearest, thus fostering selfishness. He proposed that to break free from this confinement, compassion must extend to all living beings. Einstein's quest to explore the mysteries of the world can be summarized by his assertion: "The most beautiful and profound experience is the sensation of the mystical. It is the sower of all true science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead. To know that what is impenetrable to us really exists, manifesting itself as the highest wisdom and the most radiant beauty which our dull faculties can comprehend only in their primitive forms. This knowledge, this feeling, is at the center of true religiousness." Einstein acknowledged that, despite the incredible sophistication of the human mind, it remains unable to fully grasp the vast mysteries of the universe. Nevertheless, he never ceased to admire the beauty and order with which nature operates, and he described this acceptance and deeper understanding as true religiosity. In a revealing exchange between the Buddha and one of his disciples, a similar philosophy emerged. When the disciple inquired about the vastness of the universe, the Buddha responded, "Does knowing the size of the universe help you escape from suffering?" When the disciple admitted it did not, the Buddha taught, "Then why focus on matters that do not help in ending suffering?" This interaction underscores Buddhism's emphasis on addressing core human issues, specifically suffering, rather than becoming entangled in metaphysical questions that do not lead to practical solutions. Buddhism views the universe as an interdependent whole, urging individuals to adopt a broader perspective that transcends personal desires. The journey toward understanding requires not only intellectual effort, but also a willingness to embrace empathy and compassion for all living beings. Both Albert Einstein and the Buddha invite us to explore the delicate interplay between the inner and outer worlds. They emphasize that true understanding arises from a synthesis of knowledge and compassion. The union of science and spirituality offers a holistic perspective, encouraging humanity to engage in a more profound journey toward enlightenment. Through their wisdom, we are reminded that the pursuit of knowledge is not merely an intellectual endeavor, but a path toward greater empathy, understanding, and ultimately liberation from the confines of our own perceptions. By embracing this perspective, we can aspire to transcend the limitations of our existence and work toward a more harmonious relationship with the universe, ultimately realizing that the search for truth is as much a journey inward as it is an exploration of the external world.